Welcome back. This Friday marks another chance to see storytellers near you take the stage.
ABC 10's Mark Allen joining us live from the Sofia with a great storyteller there. Hey, Mark.
Hey, yeah, it's one of my favorite things at the Sofia. First of all, Sofia, a great venue. If you're not seeing anything there, make it a plan to go see anything and everything there. In a nutshell is what it's called, and in a nutshell, it's a collection of storytellers from all over the world that tell great stories. Think of it like going to see a night of stand-up comedy, but it's not necessarily comedy. Some of it's funny, some of it's compelling, some of it's Keith. Who's Keith? It's Keith Staten. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Mark.
Keith Staten, you are a prominent area attorney. I've known you for a minute. I know you're also a car collector. If you've seen exotic cars in Sacramento, chances are it's one of your cars. But on stage, you tell a story about what?
Well, the theme is all you can eat. So it'll be something about eating.
Yeah, and so I should say the In a Nutshell series this Friday, the overall, every storyteller's talking about something about eating, all you can eat.
Yes.
Your story is about shaming. You used to shame your sister, and you learned something from it.
Yes, it was a game that you'd play. Like in the East Coast, they called it the dozens. In Vallejo, California, we called it sigging.
Right.
And it was just shaming a person on whatever deficiency you thought that they had.
Each person trying to pile up more and more about like.
And usually it would end up in a fight or something like that, and then you'd fight and go home.
Right.
You know, and then you sig another day, so to speak. So that's what it's all about. And this is when I was young. You know, when you're walking home from school, when people walked home from school, you know, you have to play games, and this was one of the games that you would play.
Back when I was a kid, we used to have to walk home from school. We didn't have scooters. So what do you hope that people take away? And also, you're quite successful at what you do, obviously, as an attorney, but when did you segue into storytelling?
I guess it's been about 2 months now or so. Started off at the Old Soul, where they had to pull the name out of a hat, and someone dared me to go there and actually do it.
Right.
And I went and did it, and seemed like people liked me, so you know, they invited me back again.
Is there something about being a great defense attorney that also translates into being a great storyteller? I would assume you're always shaping a narrative, but it's wild that like you went to McGeorge and are a successful attorney, but now you're flown all over the world to tell a story.
Well, I think there is a connection because with every case that I would do in a closing argument, you're telling a story and you're telling your client's story. You know, my storytelling probably comes from my father. You know, I was told that he was a great storyteller, you know, someone who would sit down and attract the crowd and just telling a story. And I think a lot of it has to do with your personality and how you bring it out and how you bring the audience into you and enjoying being in front of them and sharing yourself with them.
And I love that you're not telling the story here that you're telling Friday because you want to sell tickets. It's Keith and a lot of other storytellers. In a Nutshell is the series. It happens once a month, and this Friday it's all about all you can eat, food-related stories. Back to you.
Mark, I know for a lot of people, the top fear is public speaking. I'm wondering if he has some secret to like break through that fear when you're addressing a room full of strangers.
Yeah, that's everyone's greatest fear, public speaking. Yes. Was that one of yours, and do you have a tip on breaking through that?
Believe it or not, it was not. But when I was in junior college, took Speech 101, and my teacher happened to be a trial lawyer who had retired early. And he took me aside and said, hey, I think, you know, you might have something going with this, and invited me to get on what they call the forensic team, and so which is the speech and debate team. And so I joined and didn't stop.
There you go. There it is, in a nutshell.
Yes.
Keith Staten, thanks for hanging out. Back to you.
That's amazing. I was looking up the series, and they have a lot of local people telling their stories. So I wonder, how was it that he ended up being a part of the people picked for this month's topic?
Yeah, how did they pick you? How did they wind up with you? You mean, oh, well, they asked me to be there. I think the crowd enjoyed me, I think. And
how were you discovered by this series?
Yeah, that's what I mean. At Old Soul, you know, they pick a name out of a hat.
Oh.
And you get up and you do 8 minutes or so.
Oh, okay.
So I wrote the story. Well, I had the story in my head before I showed up, but I wrote it while I was sitting there waiting.
In a nutshell, he's on the local circuit. They found him. Also, this guy, I used to know him in a past life, lead singer of a reggae band that I love. That's for next time.
You've always got a random fun fact.
Yes, always.
We should do that here. Just random
Pick
name
a
out of a
hat.
hat.
I love all this,
8 minutes, go.
local talent being highlighted.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.